What's up everyone and welcome to Dimension Datacraft. Today we're going to be talking about getting started with Google Data Studio by connecting your data. So to get started, we're going to head on over to Data Studio by going to datastudio.google.com. When you get there, you'll see this page and we're just going to click the first block that says blank report. When you do this, a blank report will generate in Data Studio, but a window will pop up immediately from the bottom that's asking you to add data. So the main reason why I want to talk about this was because when I first started, I'm used to working in some older applications where you always had to import data from a different file into whatever application you're working in, and that's not the case with Data Studio. Data Studio is a web application. All the Google products are web applications, including Google Sheets. And there's a lot of other third-party web applications out there now, which allows us to just make a connection. So we're not actually importing things anymore. We're connecting to the source, so that way when the source updates, the report updates. So making that connection is really easy now. When this window pops up, we're going to use Google Sheets as an example. So we're just going to click on Google Sheets, but you can click on any of the connectors that apply to wherever your data is. For Sheets, when you click on it, it's going to open up your drive in a view, and it's going to show you all the Google Sheets that are in your Google Drive. The first one in Spreadsheets is always going to be the last one you opened, so if you are working in the data, it should be right there. If not, you can browse around and search and do all the things you need to find your file. So we'll click on that, and it'll expand to show you all of the worksheets in that spreadsheet. So we have some sample sales data here. We're going to start with just the purchase data and connect that to our report. You have a few options before you connect it to let it know what to look for. So it needs to know what to call the fields. So it's asking, is your first row headers? If it is, leave it. If not, you can uncheck that and use this optional range down here to type in the range of your data. Ours does have the first row as headers, so we're going to keep that there. So once you're confident that it's the range that you need, you can just click that add button in the bottom right. And a little window is going to pop up just warning you that when you do this, any editors of the report can now make charts off that report, which is really cool because it just shows you sort of the hierarchy of security. So you, the owner, manages the connection, but any editors can now use this to create their reports. So it just adds a layer to help prevent any sensitive data from being used. So click Add to Report, and then that's essentially it. Your data is connected. What it's going to do is it's going to pop up a table right away to show you that, hey, here's your data. It'll usually be something really random. It'll show you the row numbers, show you a text field, and just show you a number field. In this case, it's showing us the customer names and the record count, so how many records are there for each of those customers. But you're connected, and now you can play around and try to make whatever charts and graphs and visualizations that you want. So as I mentioned earlier, we didn't import anything, but we made a connection to our source. The cool thing about Data Studio is it actually saves that connection in a separate file, so you can reuse that for different reports. So to show you that, we're going to go back to the Data Studio splash page real quick by going to datastudio.google.com. And when we get there, at the very top, we're going to see there's three options. We're going to focus on these first two real quick. Reports is the actual canvas where we're going to put all of our charts, and that's the page that we were just looking at and we created right here. So there's our untitled report. There's our untitled report. The data sources are the connector files that you use to connect your source to a report. So now that we have this data source here, this sample Data Studio 101, we can use that in any report we want. So you can slice it, you can show things that you need to for internal people on one report, external people on another report, but you don't need to actually make that connection again. So that's it. That's all you need to do to connect your Google Sheet to Data Studio and get exploring and playing with graphs and visualizations. We're going to go over all the visualizations and all different kinds of charts and other videos, so keep a lookout for that. If you like this, do all those YouTube things and hit like and subscribe, and look out for something in the future. Thanks.